That's it. And then you go into the
I need to get rid of that.
huge second tab. No. Yeah.
Go live. Hi everybody.
Are we on?
It's still circling. Does that mean if it's still circling, that means it's still not?
Yeah.
It takes a
It's
while.
really bad,
That's the internet, isn't it?
Internet,
And especially when the weather's bad.
That's right.
Okay, we are live. Hi everybody. Welcome to Monday, the 5th of October. Welcome to the Sister Show with Itasha and Sean.
Hey! Hello, everybody.
And it's Black History Month. Woo! So, for those of you who can see, I've got my Black Lives Power to the People t-shirt on. I love my tees, don't I, Sean?
You do.
Yeah.
You do.
What have you been up to this weekend?
What have I been up to? Funniest thing, my best friend's dog's having a baby, so we had a dog shower yesterday. It was really, really cute. And I'll probably waffle on about it, but I'm having a puppy, one of the puppies, if all being well, so respect the mum.
Oh my god, a dog shower. So tell me, what involves a dog shower? Like
Everything that you have for an adult shower.
an adult shower?
A baby shower.
So I never had an adult shower.
We obviously drank wine for her. I actually got her some non-alcoholic wine. What else did we do? We had banners. We had balloons. We had
That's mental.
we had loads of stuff. Cakes.
Have you got any pictures?
Yeah.
Oh my god, you should
I'm
show
gonna
me
have
them
to
later.
show you.
I'll put them on the Instagram.
I will show
page.
you.
Yeah.
I will
So
show you.
We'll share them. So what did I get up to?
We
Oh,
are, and just saying about Itasha, saying about the Instagram page, that is something that we'll have this week. So keep a lookout, guys, and follow us.
Yeah, and ask us any questions.
And give us input.
Or if there's any shows that you want us to do or anything like that. Yeah, just let us know. We'll share it out. But for now, you can contact me at Miss Itasha J. Either via my Instagram or my Twitter. I've got my phone, so you can
She's Twitter mad.
now. I'm not Twitter mad.
You're Twitter mad. She loves Twitter.
I was
It's all
arguing
about
with people.
Twitter. All about
Do you
the
see me
Twitter.
arguing with people?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, you do. Okay.
I do.
And what you tell them your handle? What's
Mine
yours?
is Shana_Healy.
Yeah.
So mine's on. Is yours open? Mine's, yeah, mine's private.
Actually, mine's private, but my Twitter isn't private. So if they want to message me via Twitter.
But yeah, we'll set up an Instagram page. I think that will be better, don't you?
Yeah.
Because then we can kind of
links
share the
and stuff
handles
like
and
that.
stuff. Yeah.
So
And get hold of some businesses. I really want to get hold of some businesses.
Yeah, so
we
if
can
there
share.
are any businesses, specifically Plymouth, but as we go nationwide, because it gets shared, if there are any businesses that want us to give them a shout out or promote them or sponsor our show, that would be fantastic. Just get in touch with us and we are happy to do that and promote. Because as I said last show, I think this year is going to be very different in regards to Christmas, and I think people are looking to supporting local small
For real,
businesses, and I'm really for that, you know. So,
Yeah. And I'm going to say it again. If there's a DJ out there that will do us a
oh,
jingle,
for God's sake, like literally, like shout out to free DJs now. It's literally 30 seconds. Like, what do you want me to do? Dance for you? Like.
maybe nipple tassels on.
Anything for a 30-second jingle. Jesus, what is selling my soul? So my weekend, do you know what? I was very mumsy this weekend.
What did you do?
So I went to see my friend Mark, who I used to work with like years ago. Haven't seen him in over like 5 years. And he lives in Tavistock in a nice rectory because he's got married to the vicar. And he lives in this. Oh my God! It's something like out of a fairy tale. Like honestly, I just wanted to sit by the fire and write a novel.
I did see that on your
Did you see it on
Instagram?
Instagram? And
Write a novel about.
I don't know the life of the rectory or the vicarage. And he had this nice Victoria sponge. That was, honestly, it was so nice and just nice to catch up with old friends who I haven't seen for years. So I did that over the weekend.
Nice.
And then Saturday night, the girls and I just had pizza. And just watched a film.
Did you make your own?
I didn't make my own. It was Asda bought. Obviously, you can buy from any other supermarket, but it was Asda bought. It was Asda bought because you can pick your own toppings, can't
you can, yeah.
So, so that was nice. And I watched this amazing film, and I've got it written down. It's called Rocks, and it's by Sarah Gavron. You must catch it. It's on Netflix. It's about an hour and a half long. I watched it with my eldest. Honestly, it's absolutely amazing.
What's it about?
So basically, it's about this young girl, about 14, lives in London, and her mum, she wakes up one morning to find a letter from her mum saying, I really can't cope, I've gone away for a bit, look after your brother who's about 6. I know you're a good girl, you can look after him, and basically that's it. So it takes us through like the life and a story of how this young 14-year-old is battling to keep her school life balance, not get social services involved, and keep everything as normal as possible.
Yeah.
It ain't normal, let me tell you that. It's not normal at all. So she struggles, but you see a really nice relationship with her and her friends. And most films, you see boys and the brotherhood and all that bromance. This, you see a proper sisterhood and the support. And honestly, it's brilliant. It's British realism. It's also filmed with a handheld camera, so it almost seems like it's like documentary style.
How what age is it for?
15.
Okay.
Yeah, but I watched it with my 14-year-old. There wasn't anything sexual in there. Swearing, a few odd words.
Violence?
No, not really any violence. No. Really, really nice, heartfelt. It's quite sad actually.
Did you cry?
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I did actually, because this story is based on events that happen. I've got 2 friends who work in child protection. Obviously, I can't mention their names, and I hear stories like this all the time. So to watch it, it's like, oh my God, like, but the way it's filmed, it's almost like documentary, but the chemistry between the actresses, absolutely amazing. So it's called The Rocks. It's on Netflix and it's by Sarah Gavron. So I would tell anybody to watch. Then on Sunday, I had to go, oh, how boring. The highlight of my day, going dishwasher and tumble dryer shopping. Woohoo.
Did you find it?
I did, but
I really want a dishwasher.
My uncle thinks I'm posh. He says, oh, you're so middle class with a dishwasher. I was like, who has got time? But I've only got room for a slimline one. Say a slimline one. And it just, 3 things went in lockdown. My microwave, dryer, dishwasher. You can hang your clothes outside, can't you? You can wash up. But now things are getting back to normal. I need my dishwasher back. My dryer, because the weather's gone rubbish. Obviously, I bought my microwave. So I'm going back to finalise it today.
Yeah.
What I actually need. And then I came home and did a lovely roast, nice chicken roast with the works, and a nice apple crumble. Actually.
When you say the works, what do you have with your roast?
So I have Yorkshire puddings, cheesy vegetables, roast potatoes, then whatever meat it is, and do you know what's coming to season? Honey parsnips. So the full shebang, and I'll tell you something, but my girls will wax it off. If there's anything they love, my girls is like, if I don't do a roast on a Sunday, like literally, like there's daggers, like they love their roast.
We had a roast yesterday.
Yeah, what do you have on your roast?
We had chicken and gammon yesterday.
2 meats.
2 meats.
That is posh.
Yeah.
It's like a carvery.
2 meats.
It's better than Toby's. That is.
Chicken and gammon, Yorkshires, potatoes. My potatoes turned out really well yesterday as well. When you have a good day.
Yeah, because sometimes they're a bit.
Well, we all have off days.
Yeah.
We've got to be.
Yeah. Pure love went into those potatoes.
Yeah.
Pure love.
Cauliflower, cheese, broccoli, and leeks together.
Oh,
that was really nice.
Yeah.
The leeks amazing with it, and then just like all the normal veg, swede, carrots.
Yeah, it's not. It is nice, and when I think. It's getting to autumn, so it's getting wintry. So
that's my favourite meal, a roast.
Yeah,
it's my absolute favourite meal.
And I also think with kids, you tick all the boxes.
Well, not with mine.
Do they not eat it?
Well, obviously, because Maddox has got autism, he's very beige based, so he can have the chicken and the potatoes. At a push, he'll have some broccoli and carrot.
Yeah.
But that normally comes with a bribe, or his autism doesn't allow him to kind of overstep that. With Isaiah, she's just 3, so she goes through stages. With Jermaine, he will hoover the thing up.
Really?
He loves a roast. Yeah.
That's good. But yeah, I think it ticks all the boxes. Shiloh, oh God, she loves it. Oh, I love broccoli. Oh,
Does she? That's so good though, isn't it? Healthy and Just all
She really
good.
does. So yeah, and then I made apple crumble from the apples from the rectory because he's got like a plum tree, an apple tree. So he was like, "Oh,
How the other half
I
live,
know.
darling.
Honestly, I don't even think I could put a plant in my garden. Never mind. That's small. Never mind an apple tree.
Can you imagine?
So it was nice. So yeah, so I was all mums yesterday, and then they all had baths, and then they sat down eating their apple crumble after they had their baths, and no, it's just nice.
Nice.
I love the seasons. I hate the rain, but I love the seasons, and I like the fact that it's cozy nights in.
Yeah.
Candles, red wine, all that, and I think I'd actually miss it if I moved abroad because I also want to live in a hot country,
Yeah.
hot all the time. But I think now the seasons are here, I think I do appreciate it. What about you?
Yeah. I hate the rain. I hate the cold. All my friends laugh at me because they always say, walking into my house is like walking into Jamaica. I would rather walk around with shorts and t-shirt on, with my heating on, than put a dressing gown over me and saving money on heating. Nah, I need to be comfortable and walking around in my house.
I feel sorry for Ryan. He looks like I don't know. I'm trying to think of a character with rosy cheeks.
That's Gareth.
He always looks hot.
Shame.
He's like, oh, it's sweltering in here. Can you turn down? Like, how are you going to cope if we go to Jamaica? Like, literally, how are you going to cope? You need to climatize yourself. Like, it's a funny story.
Shame.
When we first went on our first holiday, and I don't know what I was doing downstairs, but I came up and I saw him like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm putting fake tan on. Hi. Is it on?
The apple's not.
Are we still live though?
Yeah.
So I said, what are you doing? He said, I'm putting fake tan on. I said, why? He was like, there's no way I'm going to be red and pasty next to you on the beach.
So he was fake tanning himself.
Just so he didn't burn straight away. Like, oh my God.
Don't try and back out from this.
Yeah, exactly.
Ryan, what are you doing?
He'll kill me for saying that.
He is.
But it was so funny.
He is going to kill you for
I'm not. Oh, he's going to die in Jamaica. Jamaica is so hot. Like it's an island, isn't it? So like, it just absorbs.
What part would you go?
Well, my family. So my granddad is from Saint Elizabeth, and my nan's from St Mary, which is north of Jamaica. But I think I'd go to Montego Bay, stay in the I'd stay in a hotel and then go and visit family and stuff. And I was hoping to go next year, but because of Rona, do you know what I mean? So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I do want to go, and it's important for the kids to see their heritage and know where they're coming from. So I do want to go. But yeah, so let's moving on. So October is a busy month. We've got... So obviously it's Black History Month, which we're going to go into further. Our main show is going to be about Black History Month, but I just want to run through some of the things that we're going to be talking about this month. Infant, a bit of a trigger warning here. Infant and Pregnancy Loss Awareness Month. So we're going to be discussing that next week, aren't we? We're going to be looking into that. So if anybody's got any stories or anything they'd like us to say or raise, please do get in touch. Obviously, we do understand that it is sometimes a difficult subject. And also in regards to John Legend and his wife showing those pictures. What did you think of that, Sean?
I think because so many people have an opinion on it, I think that's what makes me feel sad for people when people don't understand. I mean, everybody deals with things differently, and I don't think anybody has the right to kind of judge whoever goes through those situations. So I think for people to be kind of lashing out or, being quite disrespectful about it is wrong. It's something that they're proud of, something they've been through. So I don't really think that anybody can, That's what I think personally.
Because you told me first, I didn't see it because I don't follow either of them on social, but obviously, people screenshot and share and whatever. And my initial thing of seeing that, it made me feel really uncomfortable. Like, I really was like, whoa, that's a bit deep. But the situation within itself is deep. Yeah. It is deep, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like losing a child. Do you know what I mean? A baby,
And who are we to say you can't share?
This is it. And I think too many people have opinions these days. Do you know what I mean? You've got a right to say whatever you want to say. But I think when you're in that situation, and they obviously, so many people, the thing is, it was like 50-50. Oh, why have they done this? Why have they done that? It's private. But who says grief has to be private? I'm a person who usually on Facebook or on social media don't really chat my business. My friends know, my circle know. But when my nan died, and everything was going like crazy because of this, because when my nan got buried, it was the day Boris announced lockdown. So leading up to it, Char, I can't even tell you the changes. It was changing hourly, and honestly, it was changing hourly. Everything from, we're not going to collect the flowers, we're not going to drive you to the church. We had to drive in our own cars to the church. I had to drive it. Do you know what I mean? It was changing hourly.
Yeah.
And I don't usually chat business, but I was so grief stricken, I couldn't cope with it anymore, that I did this long post on Facebook about it. And that's not like me. So I'm putting myself in, what's his wife's called?
Chrissy.
That's it, Chrissy. Putting myself in that situation and thinking, actually, when grief strikes you, some people deal with things differently. Some people want to keep it to themselves. Some people want to tell the whole world. Do you know what I mean? So I think that it's down to the individual.
Absolutely.
If you feel comfortable telling the different, showing the world. And I think it helped people. Like, people sympathised with it and empathised with it. And they were sort of like, well, you know, I've been through this. I know exactly what they're feeling. And I just think it's one of them things you just have to, sometimes you have to go through it to know about it.
Yeah, I agree.
You know.
I agree.
But, yeah. It was just, but when I first saw it though, it made me feel really uncomfortable. Like, wow, that's deep.
As in, like, uncomfortable to see or to read?
I think I'm not going to lie, initially in my head I was like, why would they want to show this?
Yeah.
And then I thought about it and then thought to myself, well, actually, if this is how they're dealing with it, this is how they're dealing with it.
And they're famous. You got to remember, you know, John is just about to start The Voice again. He's got to walk into work and, you know, how many people are going to say, you know, how's the pregnancy going?
Yeah.
You know, they've got a lot of people that they need to explain situations to, and he was called Jack from what I read, and they're proud of him.
Yeah.
You know, that's theirs. That's something that they made together, you know, and that's how I look at it. That's how I see it for everybody. And I think anybody saying anything different or negatively towards it needs to, you know, seriously look within, because I just think people are just quite negative and nasty. And that sometimes is to do with the current situations that we're all going through as well. You know, your mental health can suffer.
It is like, people are just wild. They're saying that anxiety has gone up like through the roof.
Yeah.
Like, the strongest of people are like so anxious. And even like one of my friends recognised it in me, and I was like, oh my God, I don't even know how I'm going to cope, like going back to work and stuff. And he was like, I think you just need to get out a bit, Tash.
Yeah.
Like, you've been at home for so long, you've actually got used to, and I'm a social butterfly, like out all the time. And before COVID, I was doing I was doing like 4 classes a week, out, in, out. And like literally COVID forced me to stop. Had to stop. Had to stay in. And I got a bit too comfortable staying in, but I'm slowly working myself back out again, you know.
That's right.
But yeah, so, but we'll discuss the infant and pregnancy loss awareness next week, because that's what
detail.
Ashton's going to be in.
Yeah.
It's also Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So what are your experiences on
breast cancer? Personally, when it comes to checking my boobs, it always makes me very nervous.
Does it?
Yeah, always.
What,
because
in case you're going to find something?
Yeah, and it always just makes me feel like, oh, you know, like, was that a lump?
Yeah. Especially when they're so big.
Yeah. Yeah, they
I
are.
love boobs. Anybody in my you haven't got the squeeze yet. Anybody,
I don't want the squeeze.
You will get the squeeze, because if you get the squeeze, you know that you're there.
Do you know what
me.
you'll get? One
punch.
of these back.
All my friends, because I've got small boobs, and out of all my friendship groups, I always seem to have the small boobs. So I naturally squeeze. I always do. That's just me. Like, you know, I'm quite playful like that. God, so, you know, like, I won't be doing it now. The
Quite
2
playful
meters,
like that.
I'll have to do it with my face mask. So I'll squeeze my. Oh my God, she won't mind me mentioning my friend Celia. She's got the loveliest boobs. Like when I see her, I'll just go
Natural?
Oh yeah, they're natural. Ooh, yeah, they're natural. Women would pay money for Celia's boobs. Honestly, and I'm going. Ooh, I love them. Yeah, and I always squeeze. And it's funny. One of my friends, Natalie, she's got quite big boobs as well. And I hadn't seen her in a long time, so I hugged her and then squeezed them. Went off and spoke to another parent. I think it was at the school gates. And then Shiloh came out of school, hadn't seen her for a long time, hugged her and then squeezed her. So it's literally rubbed off on my
I wonder
child.
if your girls will have bigger boobs than you.
Oh, Saffron has. So, do you know what though? It's really, I need to speak to her. I speak to her about everything, but I've never actually spoken to her about checking herself.
Yeah.
I've never spoken to her
Yeah,
about
that's
that.
something
I've did
that-
the cervical cancer talk.
Yeah.
And the STI and all that kind of like, but I've never done the check-in.
Yeah.
How often do you check?
Honestly, probably every time I hear a story,
Yeah.
if I'm
It
honest.
just goes to your head.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's a worry. I know a couple of people who are going through it. But at the same time, you know, the word cancer scares me anyway.
Yeah,
It's one of those things that I always think, oh,
Yeah, I know.
send shivers down my
that's all-
spine.
yeah.
You link it straight away, don't you?
To death,
yeah.
don't you? Even though my mum says the death rate has gone down. Well,
Really?
pre-COVID, when my mum's a nurse, so she was like, actually, there are survivors, but you all seem to hear
Yeah.
the downside. But
Yeah.
because of COVID, a
Yeah.
lot of treatments haven't gone through.
Yeah.
And that's what might make it go back up again.
Yeah.
But I do tend to check myself. I'm quite a booby person, so I'll sit there and I don't know if I'm allowed to do that online. But yeah, I do sort of check. Do you know what I mean? But do you know what I do as well? Now and again, I often text my male friends and say, "Are you checking your private bits, your balls and stuff, like prostate?" Once I text my friend Johnny and I said, "I said it online now. Have you checked? I'm just making sure that you're checking." He went, "No, do you want to check?" I'm like, Jesus wept. I'm being concerned, but I do every now and again because that's something that men don't do they?
No.
They don't check themselves. And I had an Afro-Caribbean man. It's quite high as well. Prostate cancer. So, yeah. So basically, everybody just check yourselves. Apparently, the guidelines, obviously, if you just type in breast cancer awareness, how to check your breast, there are websites that go on that give you a full run through of how to check. I think once a month is the time to check. Yeah, but yeah, everybody keep checking yourselves, and I think it's worth saying as well, smear tests. When was your last smear test?
Oh, mine was ages ago now.
Do one.
I don't think so. I don't think it's longer than 5 years ago, which I do think's too long. I do think 5 years.
I thought it was every 3.
I thought it was 5.
You see, that's what I mean. I think different practices do different things. When I lived in London, it was every 5. But
Was
down
it?
here, it's every 3.
Ah, right. So, mine, I would say, was before Isaiah. So, yeah,
She's
that time of the month.
how old is she?
3.
Yeah.
So, that time of the month
Get
where
in
you got
touch
a
with
letter.
them.
Yeah.
Get in touch with them. Because again, that is, you know, and there's so much, like, there's such a taboo with getting a smear test, and there's so much you can do to like listen to music, bring a friend if they'll allow you to do so. It's not nice, but I always think to myself, if you can get waxed down there, if you can allow a man to go down there, get yourself checked. Do you know what I mean? Because that's one of the biggest killers, and God bless Jade Goody. You know, look what she went through, and if anything, she did make people aware, but it's sort of gone down again, isn't it? And I just don't understand how you can get waxed and have everything else going on there, vajazzle, whatever, and not get it checked. And it's not nice. It isn't nice. It's quite uncomfortable.
It doesn't actually make me uncomfortable to go to. I mean, listen, if they rang me and said, we need you in tonight, and I've been out all day or been for a run, I'd be thinking, I don't want to go in.
yeah.
No way. But at the same time, you know, you book it, you've got that build up to it, get in, get out,
And that's
potentially
it, isn't
save
it?
your life.
Well, this is it.
And I know I'm not ready to go anywhere.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. Stoptober. We've got Stoptober as well.
Is that the alcohol thing?
Yeah.
Well, do you know what? That
Or
was
s-
my
or
plan
smoking.
until yesterday. That was my plan. I was literally going to stop drinking for October.
Really?
And my best friend Billy was like, please don't do that.
No. You
And I
had
thought
to,
to myself,
was this at the dog shower?
yeah. So at the
Yeah,
dog
so-
shower, then I
yeah,
had
so
a
you-
gin.
naturally.
And then after a gin, I had some red wine.
Yeah. I don't like putting limits on myself. I'm quite rebellious.
Yeah, when you've got a...
When someone says don't do something, I'm going to do something. Like, you know, somebody says, don't press that button. Tasha's going to touch that button.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
fact, I'm going to be like that. I'm going to poke it. So I don't like doing that. Like, if I want to give up wine and alcohol, I will give it up. I don't want a month to tell me to do so.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm quite
Yeah.
rebellious like that.
Gareth don't drink at all.
Doesn't it?
Nah.
Is it because he's a PT and he's so like...
He doesn't enjoy it, and his like he wouldn't have a glass of wine. Like I get excited, like cheese and biscuits, glass of wine, but he doesn't get like he has started when we go for meals together having a bottle with me.
Oh.
Like so we share. It has to be like he'll hate this, but it has to be like something like juice, so like like rosé.
Oh, yeah.
Can't have anything too hardcore.
Yeah.
So
Oh, bless him.
so he
Doesn't he have beer or anything like that?
no,
Oh, wow.
no. If he was to drink, he is drinking to get drunk.
Oh, right,
Like
okay,
so, he
yeah.
doesn't see the point in one or two.
Yeah.
He-
He's going to go the whole hog.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then end up on the sofa or locked
All
out.
day, yeah.
Or locked out.
Oh, not that, bless him. Ryan drinks. He's not an alcoholic, but he likes his drinks. So
Yeah.
he'll have, like a can of cider.
Yeah.
He didn't have anything this weekend though. But he does like it. He likes to drink. And
Yeah.
he likes all those Cornish ciders, like toffee cider.
Yeah,
all those
absolutely.
different
My brother
flavours and
likes all
things
them.
like that. So, but yeah, he does enjoy his drink. But he does drink responsibly, so he doesn't mind. He appreciates drink. I like. Now it's coming to winter. I'll be drinking my red wine.
Yeah.
So I'll be changing. So I had a glass. So I had not a bottle. I can't drink a bottle.
What's your favourite red?
Merlot. Anything, yeah, but strong, like earthy and.
Do you like it a little bit sweet?
No. I
Tried
prefer
19
it-
Crimes.
No.
That's a really good wine.
Is it? How is it really expensive? Because the more expensive, the more.
Yeah, but they're not. The more expensive, the better.
Yeah.
But look at me, like talking like I'm a proper alcoholic. But
A wine kills you.
at Asda at the minute, 19 Crimes is £7.
Oh, is it?
That's cheap.
Okay.
So that's good.
All right. Yeah, and I can't wait. I think it's a bit too early, but I can't wait to start having my mulled wine.
Ugh.
You don't like mulled wine?
No.
Oh my
Is it
God.
warm?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't handle that warm stuff.
Oh,
But do you know what I really want to do? Make my own wine.
yeah. You
My
should.
mum and dad used to do that growing up.
Really?
Yeah, always used to make their own wine.
Because you can make your own gin. They have those little gin sets. You can make your own
Yeah,
gin.
yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, God, I can't wait. Mulled wine and apple pie. I mean, a mince pie. That's me. I'm
Clotted cream on
done.
top.
Oh, yeah. Clotted cream. For those of you who don't know, like, if we're going national, like, clotted cream is the thing down here, isn't it?
Yeah,
Clotted
yeah,
cream. Langage Farm does a nice one.
Oh, Langage is what it's all about.
Yeah.
You don't beat Langage.
Yeah, and their ice cream and their toffee. There's a local brand for you, but you can get it in most supermarkets. I believe Sainsbury's do Langage Farm products.
Oh.
But yeah, and they do
I
yogurt.
walked past Langage yesterday.
You can smell it.
Somewhere that was selling all Langage on the Ridgeway. Oh, and I was thought, walk away, don't do it.
The cream is so nice, so thick. Do you know what I heard on the news this morning? Woke up to, obviously, you know Donald Trump's got COVID.
Yeah.
Donald Trump's got COVID in explanation because we don't really know if he well, it is what it is. There's so many conspiracies going on in the world that he came out of hospital to drive around to say hello to his fans. Like, what is all that about? Like, I just I'm like, I don't get it. Do you think he's gonna do another term, or do you think the other Biden will win?
Is it just out of them two?
Yeah. Well, there is another one, but you don't really see it. It's not like
Who's the woman? I thought there was a woman. Not Hillary.
no Joe something or other.
Wasn't there a black woman?
No.
Oh, see, then I don't know. I thought Chadwick Boseman was obviously he's dead.
Yeah.
But don't talk about that because that'll make me cry. But I thought he was promoting another woman on his.
Insta.
Instagram before he
No,
passed?
there is another Liberal woman, Joe something or other. I think it might be her actually.
How are these two men? See, I don't keep up to date with all this
What,
because
American politics?
yeah, not really, because it's just I just find it all a bit much. So, how is this other guy any better or?
He's more liberal, but he's still a bit wishy-washy. He's the
Yeah.
better of the two.
Yeah, I mean, Trump's got a lot of supporters. He's got a lot of supporters, and you know, I hope if he has got COVID, to him and his wife, that they're all right.
Yeah.
You know, I don't wish harm on anyone, but
Karma.
be kind.
I don't wish death
You've
on-
got your Black Lives. I've got be kind.
I don't wish death on anybody, but God, he's not a nice person, is he? Yeah, he literally in the debate last week, he actually said to, oh God, what was that? The
I woke
group
up in the
called?
middle of the night and it was on my TV.
Yeah.
They were
We're
going
obsessed-
crazy with each other.
We are obsessed with American politics over here, and I swear when it's our election, it probably has a 2 seconds clip over there. But yeah, he not endorsed, but he like basically, what is it? Not Lost Boys, but whatever, a white supremacist group. He was like, stand by and back up or something or other, and they've got it on their website now. What President Trump said, and that to me,
And
he's
who are
just
they?
vile. They were one of the worst white supremacist group in America. Like, do you know what I mean? So for him to endorse that, like, it's just disgusting.
Yeah.
I mean, I say Boris is no better. What's that noise? Can you hear that noise? I haven't touched anything. Can you hear that noise? I hope they can't hear it online. Maybe we can just hear it. That sounds really weird. So yeah, I don't know.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, he did endorse
Did
it. It's
he?
really mental.
Awful.
Like, it's crazy. Imagine being black in America and seeing that your president. I mean, Boris is not great. I don't know, but I don't know if he's gonna. Do you know what I mean? Do any better?
Yeah.
And
I mean, he's hot. He seems to be hot on the paedophiles.
who?
Donald Trump, doesn't he?
What does he keep saying? Do you know what? I can't bear to watch him on TV.
Yeah, I
so-
think he's trying to out all the paedophile rings and stuff. With,
him when
apparently
he's so
And
chauvinistic.
I've heard that he's in with them. I've seen so many things online that, you know, he's in with them. I don't know why.
Yeah.
So it's all really weird. That's why I switch off.
Yeah, it's
because
too much,
you
isn't
just
it?
don't know what's right and
I
what's
know.
wrong, and media don't help.
Yeah.
So I just
My
decide
mum
not to
actually
watch.
doesn't listen to the news. She's like, half the things that goes on, I wouldn't even know.
No,
if you
neither
didn't
do
tell
I.
me.
Neither
She's
do
like,
I.
I don't watch.
I never watch the news, and a lot of most of my friends don't. I mean, some obviously do, but a lot of my friends don't as well.
Yeah.
For that reason.
I do like to catch up, but yeah. So I don't know. And then, oh my gosh, like it is a bit mental at the minute because we've got like the universities are on lockdown as well.
Oh, really?
You know, like not all of them, but some of them. And I'm just like, what annoys me most of all, like if that was if Saffron was in that situation, she was going off to university this year, I probably would have said to her, like, if you're doing most of your learning online, stay your arse at home.
Yeah.
Because why are you paying $9,000 a year
Yeah.
to be getting half the thing? And I have to admit, when I was at university, my days were good, man. Like those first 2 weeks of university, freshers week. Yeah, do you know what I mean? And I just feel like I feel really sorry for this
They're
generation.
all missing out, aren't they? They're all
out.
missing out. My son's going to be 18 in February,
Wow.
and I just keep thinking to myself, what a year.
What
a
you
year.
do.
I mean, February's probably not going to be much different. It's just
No.
after Christmas.
Yeah.
You know, my cousin's daughter's going to be 18 in November, and I just keep thinking, like,
Yeah.
like, not that my son personally wouldn't want a big party, but
He'd want to go out with his mates though, wouldn't he?
go out on the town,
Yeah.
or like they're not going to experience getting up and dancing and that whole enjoyment of it, because there's none of that anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm devastated for him. So, you know.
It is sad. I'm gutted. I'm absolutely gutted for them. And what I find most sad is that when it comes down to it, they'll have to look back at this that back at this time and just think, like, literally, we've missed like a couple of years out of our lives.
Yeah.
And also, we still don't know how much of this time is going to impact on the future.
Yeah.
So even though they're here and now, and it's still a crap time, like, they're going to lose jobs, and you know that we've got a biggest recession coming back.
Yeah,
At
definitely.
the end of this month, the furlough stops. It's scary. It's not a nice time for them. Yeah, so like, yeah, and then talking about, our exams going to go ahead next year. Like, you know, I've got a couple of friends who have got kids
Yeah.
who are doing their GCSEs now, and so it's still up in the air. Yeah, it's just not, it's not great. Yeah, so so that's basically summing up what's been going on over the past week. I'll tell you what came to me and my friend last week. I went round to see her briefly on Friday night, and the DJs, like, they're part of
Really
the entertainment
struggling.
industry. Like,
Yeah.
all their
Such a
work has
shame.
literally just come to a standstill. Don't forget, there was no IB fair. Well, minimal IB fair.
Yeah.
No INAP. All those tourist destinations.
Yeah.
Magaluf, all those, you know, like when DJs fly out and, you know, they do the whole season.
But even in Plymouth, any of the DJs that their job is, you know, DJing.
It's not. And it's
Da-
done at
down
10.
here.
Like, what is it?
Yeah, it's like
It's really sad. And I don't think people class them as the entertainment industry. They look at the arts and they look at the theatre and look at the film and things like that. But DJs entertain you as well. Like, who's playing your music when you're out?
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And a
Yeah.
lot of these songs you hear as well, it's the DJs. They're mixed by a DJ. They're dance tracks mixed by a DJ.
Yeah.
So I think that's quite, you know what I mean, sad as well. And I'm quite into my music. I just, like, people like EZ, like the bigger names as well, who charge, like, I don't know, $3,000 an hour or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
these amazing DJs. Will festivals ever go ahead again? I love a good festival, me.
I really don't know.
And a good rave.
Don't know.
How can you social distance?
You can't. Especially with you touching everyone's boobs. There's no such thing. It's not going to happen.
I'll tell you what, though. You know, like how you have those silent discos where... Have you been to a silent disco before?
No, but I know what they are, yeah.
I went to one with, it was... Where was it? It was at Wireless Festival years ago. And the DJ, it was Calvin Harris. And, oh my gosh, it was the best time. Like, everyone's just like... And you're like, oh my gosh. But you're all in... You got your earphones on. Everyone's doing their own thing and whatever. So you could possibly do silent discos, like...
Everyone stood in a square?
Yeah, with their masks. So I think that's the way forward, silent discos.
Everyone stood in a square.
Yeah, it's just not the same though, is it? Like, you can never get over the good times you have when you meet somebody at a festival. And, you know, that buzz you get and you're not drunk, but you're merry. No. Anyway, so whilst we're talking about DJs...
Someone give us a
support.
jingle.
Yeah, someone give us a jingle. Hint, hint. Hint, hint. But, like, there's 2 DJs in Plymouth. Well, there's loads of DJs in Plymouth, but 2 DJs that I've always tried to support since moving down to Plymouth over 16 years ago. And it's DJ Jonesy, who does Thursdays at Air, 3 till 9. And DJ Flex every Saturday, 5 till 9 at Chams in Tavistock. I know you guys might be thinking, oh, Tavistock, it's really not far. It's just up the road. It's not far, is it, Tavistock,
No.
really? So, yeah, I would get yourselves to Air and Chams if you can and support these DJs. It's their livelihood, man. And, you know, I understand that the government can't help everybody. You know what I mean? You can't help everybody. But I know that they're really getting left out. And I think DJing as well, it's not just a profession, it's a way of life.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so if you can get down to Air and Chams, I'm sure DJ Jonesy and Flex will be very, very grateful. So, Black History Month. Let's go on to Black History Month. So, what does Black History Month think? How does it feel to you?
It doesn't feel like anything.
Doesn't it? Is that because you're here in Plymouth?
Yeah, and do you know what? It's never been something that's been brought to my attention, to be honest with you, because for me, my life and my situation, I'm always black, so what's the difference? So I don't see why it's got to have a label. Like, I don't see why anything really has to have a label. I mean, yeah, it's good, but I think history needs to be taught in every aspect of everything every day. I just don't get why it's a month.
Yeah.
It pees me off a little bit.
I'm only black in October.
Yeah.
And that's only in England, because in America and Canada they celebrate Black History Month in February.
Do they?
Yeah, they celebrate it on different. I think it's February in America. I'm not sure Canada, but in February in America it's February. I'm black every day, 365 days, not just the 31 days in October. I'm glad that it's recognised. And it really used to jar me when you get white people saying, why can't we celebrate White History Month? Why don't we? And then literally, if they ask that question, why don't we celebrate White History Month, then they've missed the whole point.
See, do you know what, though? I do think people just don't understand because they haven't had to go through it. This isn't me sticking up for anybody that does say it, by the way, but I mean, as in, like, I just genuinely think they don't understand, and because they haven't seen or been educated as to what went on back in the day and is still going on now, just because we're not being trigger warning, but just because we're not being whipped and, you know, chained to a tree, yeah, and being beaten. You know, we're in 2020 and there's a kneeling on the neck. You know, it doesn't. It is. I can't think of the word.
It's a modern day lynching.
Yeah, exactly.
It's modern day.
So it's a different thing, and I think because it's not as there is a superior, but there's not as much. You know, back then there was nothing.
Yeah.
Now you've got certain people up and down in the world, like, but it's still a very big thing. And I think what the thing is that I think they just do not understand. I just think some of them just don't get it.
Yeah, that's privilege.
Yeah.
If they, the fact that they don't question certain things, that is a part of being privileged, isn't it? And like you said, it does still happen, and it's weird because that's why I love Twitter, because I do like to see people's opinions and like what they say and things. And it's almost like anything that since the summer, the Black Lives Matter movement, and since George Floyd, God rest his soul, you know, since that you will get people saying, oh, this Black Lives Matter, all this thing, it's just causing a division, it's causing a divide. We never had this before. But I think the reality is it's always been there. You haven't noticed.
Yeah.
It's always been there. All these issues that we are shouting out now or talking about or want to raise discussions, it is happening now. Like, it's always been happening and it still is. And I think that's the problem that they don't get. Like, that's part of the issue. They don't understand it. You know, and black people, not generalising, not always had the confidence to speak out because you're going to get in trouble, or you work for an organisation that could sack you, and you know, things like that. So I think, you know, it happens. Yeah, it really does. But yeah, just to say that it's nice that, you know, Black History Month is recognised, and I think it should be a celebrate, like in schools, like talking as an ex-teacher here, we're more than just slaves.
Yeah.
We are more than just slaves.
Yeah.
Like, literally, we are more than just slaves. We have contributed to designing things, like as engineers, as professors, as you name. If you go through history and if you really want to look further, a lot of things were invented by black people, but it's not recognised. And I feel like that if it was in the curriculum from the beginning,
Absolutely.
not starting at secondary school, starting at nursery, early years foundation, you know, like early years, you start nursery, have those nurseries need to have black images around the nursery.
I agree.
Not just black, Asian, Chinese, whatever. And we live in a diverse world. So why is it when I used to go into Charlotte's nursery, did I only see white people? So imagine what that does to you as a child. And then you go through school and your school life and you're only ever seeing that. Do you know what I mean? So I think that the whole curriculum needs an overhaul. For me personally, it's a bit too white, pale and stale.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. And actually, again, from a teacher's perspective, and just from a parent, it's quite easy. You don't have to blackwash everything. It's quite easy to include certain things. I used to do it all the time. It was never, it's easier, I suppose, in my subjects like English. I used to teach English, media and drama, so you could do black plays or black characters. You know what I mean? You could do those kind of things. But in every aspect, like maths, I don't know a famous black mathematician. I'm sure there is, or an Asian or Chinese or whatever. But you could just have an image of somebody who's, do you know what I mean? Just to give that child sitting in that classroom like some aspiration. I can do it because I look like them. You're black, like you constantly see negative stereotypes. Doesn't necessarily make you aspire, but it can go into your subconscious. Well, I'm not better than that. I'm just going to be, I can't aspire. Do you know what I mean? They're too centered, and I think to get the balance and to have diversity, we need representation matters. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it just needs to simply be taught in the schools. I think a lot of people feel uncomfortable about it. And that's just, I know from speaking from family that are white, they just don't want to get it wrong. They don't want to say the wrong thing because it is such a sensitive subject. How do you make sure that you're passing on the message properly? And that's where it's got to be taught to kind of everyone.
Yeah.
I think.
But like I have to, how many of my white friends have never spoken to their children about being racist and things like that? And it's and do you know what, actually, when I saw that, they kept showing this clip of this guy with his child who was white, and he asked his child, what do you see, the difference? And the child was like, I see a man, I don't know, I see a child, I don't see basically the child didn't see colour. To me that means nothing. I don't care. That experiment means nothing to me. Like, because actually they need to take responsibility and tell their child that it does exist and that they might see other people, other children being nasty to other kids because of the colour. Do you know what I mean? They need to not... I think it's far too easy to say I don't see colour, because if you don't see colour, then you don't see the struggles. You don't see that what that person is saying. Because quite often a black person will say, this happened to me. No, this happened to me. And then white people or certain people will gaslight you and say, actually, that never happened. Yeah, but it could be. No, I'm telling you this happened. My analogy is, and I always use this all the time, the wind blows the tree, but you can't see the wind. But we know the wind exists.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So why are you telling me that I've been in a racist situation or something has happened to me, but it never existed? How dare you? Do you know what I mean? So I think that it works 50-50.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's a lady I follow on Instagram. She's amazing. The black nursery manager. Do you follow her?
No.
She's brilliant. Like, follow her. She's so good. It'd be great if we could get her on the show. She's a fellow Brummie as well. So, woo!
What's she called?
The black nursery manager.
You've probably told me to follow her before, actually.
And some of the things that she posts, and it's...
Oh, yeah, I do.
And it's how she... a lot of the things she says, I'm just like, that's just like, it's not rocket science, but a lot of people would not think like what she's thinking, because it doesn't start at secondary school. It starts from when they're younger.
Yeah.
And if you can make it accessible to children, everything will just become natural. Do you know what I mean? So the kids should be learning about, they should just be learning. Like you said, the curriculum, it just needs to be more inclusive and just more diverse. And then actually, the Moon on the Tides or Poetry of Cultures. When I first started teaching English, they had an anthology, and in the anthology, it was brilliant. It had poetry from all different cultures.
Yeah.
So it had cultures from poems from India, from Africa, like people like Argard, Benjamin Zephaniah, all those guys. It was such a good one. Michael Gove comes in 2014. Was that the curriculum change? No, it was 2017 he came in. And literally, his whole stance was things need to be British, only British. We need to have a sense of identity and a sense of belonging. I'm all for that because we are British. That's great. But he whitewashed the curriculum, and it was almost like just because. So he's just like marginalised like a whole community, because that's great that he wants to be, do all things British. But there are Black British poets. There are British Asian poets. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
And the anthology is so dry. I think it's got like 2 poems from people of colour, like what they have to learn now. And it's like 16, even though they have taken poetry out due to COVID, because it's too much content for them to learn. And for this year, I don't know about the other year. And it's just like, it's simple things like that. Like you can include it. And actually, things like Of Mice and Men is a really, really good story. It covers race, it covers gender roles, it covers the depression, it covers all that kind of thing. And he was like, I'll just take that out. Don't need that don't need that novel anymore. To Kill a Mockingbird, another really good novel about race and discrimination. He just took it out. It's all those kind of things. And for change to happen at the bottom, they need to do it at the top. We can do as much as we can down here, but systematically it has to happen at the top first.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are your children doing anything about Black history in their schools this month?
No, I don't think so. Obviously, Jermaine's not in school. Isaiah's pretty much too young. She's still not on an understanding level. Maddox is very switched on with this.
Yeah.
He knows what's what. But he's also very forgiving. He has had an incident where he has been called something, and he's really like Shiloh, though, the same. But at the same time, he's very forgiving. He forgives straight away. So he will say straight after, I know they didn't mean it, and I know that they don't know X, Y, Z. Whereas I'm wanting to go in and tear some, But, it is what it is. His kindness is probably something that we need more of, to be honest. And understanding.
Yeah.
It's like, for example, the guy that got caught in Central Park in New York.
Oh, yeah.
And she filmed him, didn't she?
Oh, the Amy lady.
With the dog. And they took her dog, didn't they, off her after she was made to lose her job. And he said, stop. I don't want this for her. This isn't what I want, because it makes everybody know better. Which I actually really liked about him, because I just thought...
I hated it. But yeah, go on.
Tear it down.
Revolution.
And I just thought it was really big of him.
Yeah.
2 wrongs don't make a right.
Definitely.
So...
But she was evil, though. Like, literally, she was evil, wasn't she?
She's possessed,
an African-American man attacking me.
That's a really good accent.
It's not. It's not.
And she was filming him,
evil.
and his voice sounded so scared, because he knew what was going to happen if they turned up.
Well, we know what the police are like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even, I remember watching...
And she wasn't supposed to be walking a dog there. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, exactly.
All he was saying is, I'm bird watching.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to have your dog.
Yeah. But because she
was in the
felt
wrong.
like...
Because she was in the wrong.
Yeah, because she was in the wrong, and she felt like... That's the privilege there.
Yeah.
I can phone the police, this law enforcement. I know how they react to a black man, and I'm going to get you in trouble, potentially killed. She could have gotten killed. She literally could have gotten killed. That's just evil. Like, who does that? Like, I don't think like that. It's even when people say, oh, you can play the race card. There's no benefit to it. If there was benefit to it, we wouldn't be in the situation we are now.
Yeah.
Because when we do say something, we're told that we're playing it. What race card? I don't get it. Like... Where'd you get one from? Do you know what I mean?
It was like those messages I received the other week, Oh, yeah. What's the point in playing it? Because you don't get anything.
No,
you don't get anywhere with it. There's nothing that's going to happen from it.
I think what people need to do as well is just literally educate themselves. Like, people, there's so many books on there, there's so many websites. I try and post as much as I can on Instagram. And I do get people messaging me back saying, wow, I didn't even know about this. Like, you know, like something as simple as, like, I want to go on holiday, but do they like black people there? Like, I've heard Croatia's really, really nice, but I've also heard black people have gone there and been like, it's a bit funky. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I would love to be in a world where I could just pick anywhere in the... Even like Saffron, like saying she's going travelling. Like, well, where are you going?
Yeah.
Like, where are you going to go?
Yeah.
Like, because I know that you're not going to Russia. And there's some parts of Poland you cannot go to. Like, where are you going? And there's even, believe it or not, there's some parts of Italy and Spain. Mind you, some parts of Britain you can't go to. So, do you know what I mean? That's, you know, so it's... But imagine having to think like that for your child.
I remember meeting my mother-in-law, though, and feeling like my first thought was, I wonder if he's told her that I'm black.
Did he?
Do you know what? No, I don't think he did.
I don't think Ryan did.
I don't think he did.
I just rocked up there.
No, I don't think he did. And I think I remember saying to him in the car when we were on our way, like, have you told your mum? And he was like, no. And I kick myself now thinking about it, thinking, why was my mindset bothered? You know, it bothers me that I was bothered. But
yeah, but you don't know what their reaction's going to be.
Yeah, and I go either one of two ways on that. You know, like if it was something that was rude, I would probably get upset. But then in another way, if it was something that was rude, I'm gonna, you know, pick up my knife and fork, and it's gonna go.
Yeah.
You know, like, so it's a real weird situation.
It is, isn't it?
Plymouth is. Oh, I love Plymouth. I do love Plymouth.
So do I. Believe it or not.
Yeah, I really like Plymouth. I do.
If I hated it that badly, I wouldn't be here. Do you know what I mean? So, like,
I think we're blessed down here.
Yeah, we are.
As much as, you know, there is obviously I've had racism and lived down here all my life. I've
but
always
you
had
could get
racism.
racism in Birmingham.
Absolutely.
And you could get it in London.
Yeah.
Even though those places are more diverse, you
will get it.
You still get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's what I love. Like, again, this is what I'm saying. Like, even though it is racist down here, I've got amazing support networks. And, you know, I can count on both my hands the amount of black people in my life, you know, but I can count on mine, yours, my mum's and somebody else's hands, all the white friends I've got. I've got loads of white friends, and they are all beautiful people. And sometimes they just, some of them are too uncomfortable to talk about it, and some of them are willing to want to hear more about it. You know, it's one of those things.
Yeah.
And I'm so blessed that through the whole movement, the amount of people that checked in, you know, like, and then equally,
some people,
and then the ones that didn't.
Yeah, like, because it's so uncomfortable, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's such an uncomfortable conversation, but it's an important one to have.
But again, making friends that you didn't even think you'd make, me and you. I've met a few people on Instagram that I've become really close with.
And do you know what?
That I wouldn't expect to.
Here in Plymouth, we do have a black community.
Yeah,
we had one,
yeah,
like, but we do.
And
we
like
have one.
the friends I've made, some of the girls that we used to go to school with, Maya, Nikki, Hannah, Aisha. Us five have got a little group chat that we would check in with each other. We all went to school together, you know, different years. I think I'm the oldest with Hannah. But it was just nice that we all checked in, made sure everybody was all right, sort of thing.
Because it was a hard time. It was.
Do
you
shit.
think that the movement has changed anything? Like,
No.
You don't think nothing's changed?
No.
Really?
No.
Okay, go on. Why do you think it hasn't changed?
If anything, I think it's made people more angry than understanding. That, you know, I can admit that I was feeling angry and upset towards my friends and family, because I was thinking, well, not my family, because my family, I've got a chat with them and they were cool, but I was feeling angry towards maybe friends that hadn't checked in, or like it was a weird situation. And I think it was just, it all comes across as an attack. Everything comes across as an attack, where there's no communication in the whole thing, and everybody's so angry. I mean, I get the angriness. If this was one of my kids, you know, I'd be doing the same. But I don't see how things are going to change.
Really? See, I feel like things have changed within the sense that people are more aware.
Yeah.
This is happening. We're like, look, this is happening. This is what's happening. We are tired. Listen to us. Hear us. So I think things have changed that way. In regards to like black businesses, I think like they've thrived off this.
Yeah.
And this whole thing, when I say like, because the first Saturday of every month is Black Pound Month or Black Pound Day or whatever, and I try and buy from a black business, and that is not me being racist.
Did you do it on Saturday?
I did actually.
Which one?
Bloody expensive.
Oh.
It's basically, I shared it on my Instagram, and it's like, it's a black angel for the Christmas tree.
Marks and Spencer's?
No, because it's not a black business.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
It was this company called March. Oh, I'll have March.
How much?
I don't know. I'll have to share it on Instagram.
How much was it?
I won't say, but like, and me and my friends had this discussion.
God, are we talking over 20 quid?
No. But still, for what it is, I think it's expensive. But I just wanted to support them because that's the problem with. We don't have generational wealth.
Yeah.
Look at all the national supermarkets. Yes, Asda has been bought by the Issa brothers, who they're not white. Let's just say that, because again, that was kicked off. I will never shop there again. Asda don't want you to shop there anyway. So, but black people generally, we don't have generational wealth, because if you think about it, when slavery ended, a lot of slaves were just left with nothing.
Yeah.
So we started with nothing, right? So white people have had hundreds of years. We're still playing catch up, because then when slavery ended, some slave owners were so cruel. Would say, well, you still got to work for us to pay off debt.
Yeah.
Or a spade would get broken. They was like, oh, you've broken that spade, and just loads of things. If you go back in history, then you had the Jim Crow laws, and then they segregated you, so then you got paid less. And in a way, like financially now, if you look on certain things, black people still get paid less. So do women. It is a fact, right? So we're paying catch up. So we don't have our own supermarkets and things like that. We might have smaller versions and smaller hair shops and small businesses and stuff like that, but we don't really have them on like a macro scale. So if I can buy from a black business just to help them grow, that's what I feel like I've done my duty. And so to me, buying from a black business is almost like buying from a small local independent business as well.
Right. Yeah.
I would much rather buy from a small local independent than go on eBay or Amazon. Now what I'm doing, I'm very, very conscious to buy from. Rather, before looking on eBay or before looking on Amazon, I will look at a black business first, or look at a local business, and then do that. That's what I'm all about. But I think our prices are a bit expensive, and our customer service, Jesus Lord, our customer service. Something needs to be done about the customer service. Something needs to be done about. We just don't have that etiquette. Again, it's just not been taught. Not been taught. It's not been taught. It's not been taught. So yeah, it's little things like that. But I do try. I really, really do try. But yeah, it's just little things like that in a way. But I'll share with you what I bought. Yeah.
We will set up an Instagram page.
Yeah, we've got to, so we can share all the links and stuff like that. I'll shout out to where we got our coffees. We got our coffees from
The Social.
So there's this new so it's a bar and a social media agency, that's just opened up on Mayflower Street, and I still haven't eaten my roll yet.
Mine went right down. Mine was gone.
Home. And on Mayflower Street, they've just opened today, but they're doing their official launch on the 24th of
October.
So go in, you get.
Look at that, Eggs Royale.
Oh wow, is that there?
Yeah, that's them.
Oh, that's nice. You can follow them. What's the
Social Bar Plymouth.
So if you follow
it was nice.
Yeah,
it was really
nice.
good.
And the boss.
It's got a nice vibe.
Yeah, it's got a really nice vibe. The boss Ash there seems really cool as well. So do you know what? People are still trying to get through, aren't they, in this little pandemic, and do as much as they can. And also, if you're looking for anywhere else to go, the Gin Sanctuary. I don't know what Vauxhall. Is it Vauxhall Street?
It's opposite the dairy, what used to be the dairy.
It used to be the dairy.
Yeah.
In Plymouth. Honestly, it's so nice. They do coffees as well. They do cocktails. So if you want to drop in there, it's such a nice ambience, atmosphere. And the people who work there are really cool as well. So drop in there as well. So there's lots going on. Okay, so
It was nice.
carrying on with our Black History vibe, who are your favourite Black icons and
So-
why?
Trevor McDonald, just because I love Trev.
Yeah.
I do love Trev.
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 So your mate
I love
Trev.
my Trev.
Yeah.
I just love everything about him. Like I remember liking him as a child because I remember thinking, oh my god, I love his eyes.
Really?
Because he's got different colour eyes. They're lighter. Didn't fancy him
Is
because he was like
it's from
Trinidad and
isn't
Tobago,
it?
yeah. So yeah, I just love him. So I loved that he was wasn't he given a knighthood? And I loved that for him. And then he kind of like retired and then he started coming back doing the
These
like
little
prison documentaries and
it's
stuff. And I
amazing,
love that
isn't
because he
it?
goes and meets all the dangerous people and he ain't scared.
He's
and I
so
just
well
love that.
spoken, isn't he?
Incredibly.
He speaks like the Queen's English.
Yeah. So yeah, I really like him. But you said something about
Yeah, I don't know if this is true, but I'm sure that he's left his wife, gone into a bachelor pad over 30 odd years because Trevor wants space. But I don't know if that's true. That's what I saw on the
I'm
internet.
going to be
last
Googling
week.
that later.
Yeah,
And I just love the
Adult
story
Trev.
of Ruby Bridges.
Ruby Bridges.
Yeah.
Why Ruby?
Because I just think look, I looked into it a little bit and she was the oldest, I think, of 5. Do you know her? Like, have you read into her? Yeah. So
Yeah,
you're gonna know
posted
much
her.
more about her than me because
She's
she is like
amazing.
the most cleverest human in the
No,
world.
I'm not.
And I'm
really
like,
not
I look
clever.
into like 15 minutes before I do
I'm just a
something.
geek, that's all.
Yeah, you are. And I just love that she was the oldest sister. But I think the dad was a bit sceptical about putting her in the situation that they were going to do because it wasn't it that they reached out to people of colour and she was like the only one and the mum was all for it.
Yeah.
And I love that. Well, I don't know how I'd feel about putting my child into that situation, unless I was there. But then I'd probably end up dead. Do you know what I mean? Because and I just look at it, and those pictures really make me sad.
Yeah.
Really sad because
That she had bodyguards going to school. like-
5 bodyguards
Yeah.
every single day,
Yeah.
to and from, because she was the only black person, and grown adults, grown MFing adults
Who didn't want
stood
her.
screaming these inappropriate, disgusting things at a child,
Yeah.
at a 6-year-old, vulnerable, alone child. And I just think that were the bodyguards nice to her? Like, were they just doing their job? Did they have any compassion for her? And that picture of her walking down the steps.
How
and,
amazing is her teacher though? Like her teacher taught her as well. Like.
yeah, and I just think I don't know much about the
And
teacher.
do you know that's not that long ago? That was like in the 60s. Like
Exactly,
so
and she's still alive.
that's not not long ago. And also, I don't know if people know this, that a lot of the civil rights pictures they put in black and white to manipulate your mind to make you think that it's long
Long
it's been
time.
long. But actually, a lot of those pictures they are in colour.
60s.
Yeah,
That's
60s not long
nothing.
ago. My mum was born in the 60s. My mum's not even 60 yet. My mum was born in the 60s, so it's not that long ago.
So, what about her teacher then? What's the background on that?
Just the teacher was quite happy to teach her, and I don't know if there's any interviews. Obviously, the teacher must
See,
be
that
dead
makes me want to
now.
say, oh, how big are her?
Well, yeah.
Do you know what I
it's
mean?
natural.
Oh, how big?
But I don't think any other teacher wanted to teach her.
Right.
So actually, I think it was a nice thing.
I wonder
that
how she
was-
felt.
I know.
I'd love to read a book on her.
I'm sure there's
That's
loads.
something that I want to do. That noise
There's
just come through
loads.
again.
Yeah. Yeah, but Ruby Bridges, she's a sweet.
Do you think there's a
doll.
documentary book?
Yeah, there's loads. You just got to. It's just a way of finding it, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm going to write that one because I really want to read about her.
Yeah. Yeah, it is amazing. And like there's a picture where her mom and her's walking and like you can see like the people shouting at her and I'm just like, oh my god, that was someone's grandma or granddad shouting, screaming at her. And they do you know the worst
Have you
thing?
noticed that I've been like that the whole time?
I just thought that's how you wanted it, so I just left
Wow. No wonder I couldn't hear properly. I had one ear on. Oh dear.
This girl's mad. And do you know that somebody sent a coffin
Of a baby
of
doll. I've
black
seen that.
baby doll.
Wow, I
like,
can hear so well.
how evil. You couldn't hear before.
I could hear only
It's 'cause your
half.
hair's so big.
I could only hear half, and now I can hear. I feel like I'm in the zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, shocking.
yeah.
It was disgusting. How about you?
So-
Who are yours?
So my favourite icons are Harriet Tubman.
Never heard of her.
So she was a slave and an escaped slave. She was a bad girl. Harriet, please watch the movie. It is just
Called Harriet?
Yeah, it's called.
Yeah, but
it's
is
called
it?
Harriet.
Did you see 12 Years a Slave was on
Yeah, I
Saturday?
can't watch it.
It's
I
not
can't
for me.
watch it. I've watched it already, but I will never watch it again unless any of my children want me to watch it with them. But I will never watch that film again. It's too much. It is too much. That's trauma. That's
Yeah.
trauma.
Yeah.
Like that is trauma to me. I don't want to watch that. So
I was saying to Gareth yesterday, I think I was saying it to Gareth. I was saying to him, like, for me, it's hard because that is just watching my brother or my dad or like me, you know, like that could have been any of us.
Yeah.
Or
It's too much
and
to
it's
watch.
just, it makes me feel sick
It's so
that that
sad.
actually happened.
Yeah, it's so sad. It is. But Harriet was basically known as Moses, and she was just amazing.
Why was she known as Moses?
Because the slave owners could not believe that a woman was leading all these slaves. Like, she freed so many slaves, like literally. Oh my God, you've got to watch the film. Like, she just freed all these.
Yeah, but is that one
slaves.
violent like 12 Years a Slave? 'Cause I
No,
can't
it's not.
remember
It's
that.
not violent. It's empowering. It's empowering. And do you know what? She's a badass. Like, she freed all these people, because obviously the north of America was more. They were freed, and the southern states,
Yeah.
like like Texas, Alabama, all them places, which
Yeah.
are still really, really racist now.
Yeah.
And the South's always still like that. Still didn't want to free them. And she would lead all these people to freedom and stuff like that, and she just didn't care. Like, and then in the end, it says that she ended up joining. She was a Union scout during the Civil War, and she was the first woman to lead a combat assault. But she was and she was a Union spy and a woman suffragette supporter.
Wow.
And she died well up into her 90s or 100s, something
And
like
what
that. So.
and what year was this?
Oh God, you plug it. I don't know what year, but just Google her. But like
Yeah,
I
I'm
just
gonna.
but the film's amazing. Like, it's so good. And actually, Cynthia, I can't remember her surname. The woman who played her is actually a British actress, and she did the role justice. A lot of Americans were kicking off about her playing the character. There was an American actress to play her. Get lost.
Who played it?
I don't know her surname, but it's a girl called Cynthia something.
I'm gonna
or
have a
other.
look.
But yeah, the Americans were kicking off saying, and this is what I mean. It's like, just be
She's come out straight away,
grateful-
Harriet Tubman.
Yeah, just be grateful that this film's being made, and you're moaning about that it should be an American actress. But that's the arrogance Americans have, and so not all Americans, some Americans.
Oh,
anyway.
Cynthia Erivo.
Yeah, she's amazing. I've watched her, man. She's like, I remember when she was just leaving drama school, and she's really, really good. She was in, yeah, that's it. You've got to watch it. It's just a badass film. And,
I was
like,
thinking as well about did you ever watch the film, me and Gareth watched it maybe last year or the year before, called Lovin', and it's about the first black and white man that got together and the reaction.
first black and white man.
Black and white. White man, black woman.
No, I didn't watch it. Love it.
It's called Lovin'.
Is it on Netflix? I might be able to find it.
Yeah, but again, a really good film. A bit deep, but just how they weren't happy basically about
Yeah.
a black and a white man
Oh
together.
yeah, that'd be interesting to watch.
Yeah.
I'll watch that. And then my next one is Doreen Lawrence, Stephen Lawrence's mum. I like that woman. Like,
Yeah.
I just like, it just brings tears to my eyes, like thinking of what she, like, her son was murdered for being black. Like, do you know what I mean? And that's the first time, like, realizing, oh my God, racism. I'm not white. I didn't think I was white ever, because my household was very black, but my mum really, my growing up, like, it's British, isn't it? Like,
It's scary.
It's British, but when Stephen Lawrence died, that's just like, and Doreen Lawrence is just amazing, and the fact that she went all that, and she still fought, and she still hasn't got justice. They've closed the file this year. They've closed the file, so it will never go to court again. That's it, done. So he still hasn't received justice, and that just like.
And they were not remorseful.
No, they weren't. They weren't remorseful. And we found out from the McPherson report how racist the Metropolitan Police are. I'm not going to say were, because they still are. I don't care what anyone wants to say. I don't care what Mrs. Cressida Dick wants to say. The Metropolitan Police is racist as an institution.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's the reality. Because certain things still have not improved. Again, well, you really have to see the stop and searches. In lockdown, stop and searches with black boys in particular went up.
Yeah.
Like, why is it going to go up? Do you know what I mean? So anyway, so Doreen Lawrence, I just, for like all her campaigning, the fact that she still managed to stay sane, I don't know how she's done that, because again, I couldn't do that. I just think she's an amazing woman, and, you know, God rest his soul. But do you know another one I just want to bring up to make it more localised to Plymouth? Jack Leslie. I'm going to read you some from Jack Leslie now. So Jack Leslie was a Plymouth Argyle player, and between 1921 to 1935, out of 384 appearances, he scored 133 goals. His mum was British and his dad was Jamaican. Leslie was called upon the national team to play for England in 1925. His manager, Bob Jack, told him he had been selected to play for England against Ireland. However, the invitation to play for the country was withdrawn. It has been speculated that this was because of belated objections to his colour by a member of the FA, who was still racist. I don't care what anyone says, the FA are still racist, who had been unaware of his ethnicity. Later in life, Leslie told the journalist Brian Woolnough, "They must have forgot I was a coloured boy." So that's little John, Jack Leslie, who was who played for Plymouth Argyle. So that's a bit of local.
Love that.
And I just think that's amazing. And I think flipping out, that was 1921, and you've still got racism in football today. And actually, I think it.
When I watch some of the clips of them like chanting monkeys and stuff, I
my
literally
heart breaks.
and chucking bananas and stuff. I literally think, wow.
I know. But do you know what? I remember.
And they carry on.
What team does Gareth support?
Pardon?
What team does Gareth
He doesn't
support?
really. If he does, my brother's Liverpool, but if Gareth does, I think he's Liverpool.
Okay.
But he's not really.
Yeah,
into
my boyf is
he used to be.
massively into Manchester United. For his birthday, the boyf. I'm still young, innit? The boyf. I took him to do the tour. Literally, I thought he was going to marry me there and then. Like, he absolutely adores. He'll put on the scarf. He'll put on the t-shirt when they're playing.
I love it.
Well, I don't support Man U. Can I just say that?
Aston Villa.
No. Oh,
That's
stereotype.
my
It is. Oh yeah, because it's a
That's my
Brummy,
dad.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Aston Villa. No. I'm a West Bromwich Albion supporter, and that's what I was going to say. Cyril Regis, Laurie Cunningham, and Brendan Baston. They were like the big guys in the 70s.
What league are you in?
We're in the Premier now. We've got
Are
a
you?
cheeky bugger.
What? Are you the
West
bottom?
Bromwich got-
Are you the bottom of it?
I don't know where we are, but we're not at the bottom. Thank you very much. We're not at the bottom. We're not at the bottom. But so West Brom are my team, because I'm from.
So what about
Zappa.
if West Brom and Man U ever play each other?
I'm supporting West Brom.
No, but would you both go to watch it?
And I'm sitting in the West Brom camp.
You'd sit different ends?
Yeah.
Even funnier.
Yeah, I would. Honestly, the Baggies, that's what we call them, the Baggies, they're my team. But Cyril Regis and Laurie Cunningham, those guys in the 70s, they paved the way, and they suffered a lot of racism, like back then, again. And I remember watching a documentary, and they were just going through, like obviously then there was no social media, but they used to get letters. "We don't want you to play for us, you black coon. I wish you would die on the pitch," and things like that. And then you just come to present day, and you've still got footballers still. I mean, what Rio, and obviously Rio doesn't play anymore, but I love football, so I follow it. You know.
Yeah.
So what Rio used to do with, you know, my Sterling, what's his name? Sterling. Raheem Sterling.
Don't know who that
Flipping
is.
love him. Plays for Man City.
Right.
His parents are Jamaican. Well, I think he's Jamaican. He might have come here when he was younger, or his parents are Jamaican anyway. Quite influenced by watching his Instagram by the Jamaican cult. So, but anyway, like what they have to deal with now as well. And I'm sorry, I don't care about money, and I don't care about what people say. I don't go to work expecting racism. And if somebody was racist to me at work, obviously I'll speak to my manager or whatever, but if they were racist, I'm walking out and I've got all grounds to walk off. So I think when they're shouting monkey nut, you walk off the pitch. Walk off the pitch. They're like, oh no, there's too much money involved. Why should they have to? Oh, it's just mentally doing it. And actually, I remember my friend's boyfriend saying that it just comes with it. And I was like, what do you mean comes with it? And they were like, it comes with it. He said, sometimes, you get on with the mans in the changing room and you banter and things like that. But it's so natural when you play with them and you do something wrong or you don't score or you miss a penalty for them to shout something racist at you.
I'd be gone.
That's what I mean.
I'd be gone.
So I don't know if I could deal with that with my son, and
I wouldn't deal with it with my son.
Yeah,
Not a chance.
Like, do you know what I mean? So I don't know, but anyway. But in regards to Jack Leslie, I found out this bit of information as well. On the 18th of June 2020, following the George Floyd protests in the United Kingdom, and a petition was signed by over 500 people, and it was reported that Plymouth City Council had proposed to rename Sir John Hawkins, which was a local slave owner, square in the city centre, to be named Jack Leslie Square. And now they're trying to save money to get like a statue of John Leslie, and I think that's
Who, Plymouth City Council?
yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, that's really really good, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think that is a way forward. And I think, Plymouth. I mean, with Sir Francis Drake came from here, and I'm not. If you want to pull down statues, do what you want. Do what you want, okay. But there's bigger fishes to fry. Like we can't erase history. We can't stop history. But we need to balance it out and tell the truth.
We can add to history.
We can add to it.
We can add.
And we just need to tell the truth. Like Sir Francis Drake, there's a big, massive monument. South Shiloh runs up to it every bloody time we go up the Hoe. I'm like, why are you running up here? And then you see the white people walk past looking at us, and they'll know they're probably thinking, oh, she's probably telling them that telling her child that he was a slave owner. But I don't know why Shiloh is absolutely obsessed with Sir Francis Drake. I think it's because it's a big monument and she's learnt about it and it's actually there. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, on there it doesn't say anything. It praises him.
Yeah.
He was a jackass because he was a slave owner, and a lot of the riches that this country has got is from him, and that's all very great for empire and colonisation and everything, but let's remember where he got those riches from. They just need to balance it out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's Sir John Hawkins Square is going to be renamed Jack Leslie Square. It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I think a lot of people will disapprove of that though. What do you think?
I don't care.
No.
I don't care.
It's big change, isn't it? I think we want big pay. Like, we don't want to see. We don't care about like.
Like you always say though, they're lucky that there's no one wants revenge.
I know.
Do you know what I
Can
mean?
you imagine?
It's just equality.
But I think some people don't like it, and I think they're scared. They're definitely scared of change, and they're scared that we're having a voice. Because I think in their minds they think that we're going to take over. We literally don't want to take over. We just want equality. I just want my children to be treated equal.
Do you think it'll ever happen?
Not in my lifetime, no. I don't. I think it'll improve. Mind you, Generation Z, who are coming up, like Maddox generation and Shiloh and Saffron, they're a different sort, they are. Because again, they're very into saving the planet, Black Lives Matter, and all those kind of movements that our generation is still conflicted at. So the new generation coming up, but there's too much to be done. Like, and then you've got countries going backwards, like Poland. Have you heard about their new prime minister? No. How he's he stopped gays from he's got gays from meeting in public and things
Gay people?
Yeah, gay people.
He doesn't like them meeting in public.
And things like that. Yeah, he's gone really backwards on their gay rights and laws and stuff like that. That's Poland 2020. So and you can't be you've got to be equality for everybody.
Yeah.
You've got to be equality for black women.
We were saying
gays,
that, weren't we?
everything.
You know when they were saying about how black people in America are attacking the trans.
Makes no sense.
Yeah.
That makes no sense. We're all fighting for equality, and everybody is born equal to a certain extent,
yeah,
and deserves to be treated equal.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's where I stand on it. What about you?
Yeah, absolutely. If any of my children tell me that they're gay, as well as, black,
Yeah.
being hit with a double whammy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you make sure that you are comfortable in your skin and you stand by who you are. And, you got the backing of all of us and everybody that's in my life, because everybody that's in my life is going to be the same sort of mentality.
Well, I hope there is going to be a better future. I hope there is going to be a better future. But I just think with education, being kind, compassion, and listening. How often do people talk and people not listen?
Yeah, all the time.
Like,
All the time.
you just listen.
Communication is so big,
really
and it's
is.
only something that I've learnt as growing up. Like, it's quite easy to ignore your mates or not speak to them or not send a text message, which isn't as
Oh my
intimate.
God, yeah.
But when you actually see them face to face, something that me actually and one of my best friends, Billy, have been doing a lot lately is talking face to face, and it's really helped because.
You can see the facial expressions,
And
the body language.
you see, I know him inside out, but sometimes when you send a message, it doesn't tell you how things are going. So it's good to have that, once a week, proper in-depth chat.
That's what I missed in lockdown, not seeing and things like that. And actually, I think it was when lockdown was easing, I got zoomed out, like literally got zoomed out.
I still
had
am
enough of
a little
Zoom.
bit.
Yeah.
I still am a little
I
bit.
try to do whatever I can without being on Zoom or FaceTime or whatever. But during the circumstances, there is nothing, because we are going to be like this for the next few months at least.
Yeah, and we
So,
really are.
You know what I mean? But it's coming to the end of our show.
I can't believe it's already
I
here.
know,
It's gone so
it
fast.
goes so quickly, doesn't it? So do whatever you can. You can follow Sean at
Sean Healy, Sean _Healy.
And you can follow me at Miss Itasha J, and that is at Instagram or on Twitter. And next week we will be doing about infant and pregnancy loss awareness. So if there are any questions, or if there are any stories, or if there is anything you'd like us to say,
It can also stay confidential.
Yeah, obviously we won't mention
we
your
don't need to
names.
name you if you don't want to be named. You can also, if you've got any subjects that you feel quite passionately about, please get in touch with one of us, because we would happily have you on the show. Also, hopefully by next week we'll have set up an Instagram.
Yeah.
And someone's going to get back to us about a jingle, aren't you?
Somebody, yeah, like literally.
Because what's going to happen is we're going to have to do our own and sing it to you, which is hilarious, which you really don't want to.
My friends know I can't sing.
Yeah.
Like, when singing,
my friends know that I like to after a drink.
When singing was given out, I just didn't get singing. I just didn't get the voice thing. God was like, you can't have boobs and you can't sing. Like, pick another talent. You can't have that. So
Can't have both.
I'm better at TikToks. I can dance. I just can't sing.
You love a TikTok.
Oh, I haven't done one in a while. I need to do one. I'll do one for next week.
Do it with Ryan.
Yes, I need to get Ryan in there. I do need to get Ryan. Do a couples one. Oh, because you did one with Gav, didn't you?
We love doing them.
Yeah, it's cute. Oh, that's so cute. But yeah, so thanks for listening, and
give us your feedback.
Give us your feedback. Like we said, if there's anything you want us to discuss, anything you want us to raise, please do. And we look forward to seeing you next week.
Yes, we will.
Okay, take care, people.
Take care.
Have a good week.